speaking of hacking stuff, the Switch is going to have new hardware apparently coming out next year. I don't know if you saw anything about that. What it sounds like to me is that
Switch Classic Mini.
I don't think it's going to be anything crazy.
Too soon.
I don't think so. The Switch, it was revealed maybe it was like 6 months ago that they discovered that there was a flaw in the hardware of the Switch chip that NVIDIA puts in there, and it's not something that they can fix with an update. It's a hardware flaw that can be hacked. They can try to make it a little more difficult, but it's a fuck up. Yeah. So basically, they have to release a revised chipset. They have to do it. So this sounds like a combination of just like a refresh plus fixing that problem. There's no real details. They might make the screen a little bit nicer, like the quality and this and that. That's all we really know. I just think it's kind of the Switch that's a system that shouldn't really have a refresh. It's a cheaper system. It's not like its strength isn't on like power and things like that. Yeah. So it should just be a quiet changeover. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like the pricing, if there's a price drop, the new Switch revision should have a same price with it. I mean, because the Switch is the same price as a PS4 or Xbox. Yeah. So I mean, they can't get people excited for like a revision if it's going to.
I have heard that, and people ask, well, then the original one's going to be worth more money because of what you can do for it. But I don't think so because they sold so damn many of them. No, I think there's enough people to scoop all those up and do the hacks.
Dude, there's so many things you can hack. Like, I mean, you can hack a Vita, you can hack a PSP, you can hack all that stuff. You know what I mean? So, like, the Switch, I don't know. If I was going to look into getting, like, get, like, a Vita or a PSP where they're not supporting it anymore versus the Switch where Nintendo's going to try to make it harder and harder to keep it hacked. I don't know. Stupid.
Yeah. It sounds like Sony is exiting the handheld market.
Yeah.
No plans for a Vita follow-up.
Yeah. The Vita, like, it's just like typical Sony when they release, like, products, like their actual hardware products of anything. Their product themselves, it's like, dude, when did the Vita come out? It was like 2009?
Mm-hmm.
That thing's a beast, dude. That's a monster. It's unbelievable that hardware was but it just came out at a funny time when smartphones were starting to take over things, and but the power and everything was great, but I don't know.
The price was just a little out of reach for a lot of people, I think.
And we were at a time where like people, everything was changing with like technology, especially like mobile stuff, that carrying something like that around, things weren't perfected that it made sense. Like, I feel like the Switch makes more sense because the Switch intentionally doesn't have certain things on there that cell phones do for a reason. I don't know.
I remember playing it when it first came out on the kiosk, and I'm immediately blown away by how cool that screen was, like how nice it looked.
It's really impressive. Yeah. It's like a real PS3 Lite, and but it just has the normal problems with something that's, I mean, it's almost 10 years old. It looks that nice, battery life and shit like that. What you gonna do?
And you still have the proprietary memory. You still had to buy the friggin' overpriced.
Hey, it's Sony. You got it. That's what Sony's all about.
Dumb.
That's what it's all about. Really they have advantages over normal micro SD cards and things like that.
No,
what those advantages are, don't know.
The word Sony.
And expensive. And impossible to find down the road when no one's buying the Vitas anymore.